welcome to Bomadoo. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to share with you a recent relapse I've had and a massive tip which I'd recommend to anybody who hasn't had any type of disability with their arms and legs. You need to do this one thing, which is use your non-dominant hand. Now, use it now. Get familiar with using your non-dominant hand, your non-dominant leg, because if you start to have a really bad relapse on your dominant side, you're gonna thank yourself later for using that non-dominant hand and leg and arm, and it's worked wonders for me, and my non-dominant hand now is stronger than it's ever been, and I've had a relapse on my non-dominant hand as well. So about probably say about 9 weeks ago, I started with like a real bad weakness in my arm. It felt like I'd been lifting like too many weights, and I know I've got my little boy, and he's heavy, but you know that was just normal to me, so that's fine. But it was so weak, and then that was there for about maybe 2-3 weeks, and then I started to have a tingling sensation in my fingers, and like a pain, just skin pain. It was so tender around my shoulder and around my collarbone, my chest, and then that started to tingle and itch, but an itch you can't scratch. If you've had MS itching before, you know that it's not a real itch, so you're scratching and scratching and scratching and nothing will get rid of it. So you try and do anything to get rid of that itch that you've got, and it just won't go away, and it's so annoying, especially when you're trying to go to sleep. A tip for MS itching is cold. Anything that's cold, ice pack. I started off with it because I didn't have any ice packs. I started off with a can of Coke, just rolling it across my skin, and it seems to confuse the nerves into to stop itching. Like your skin feels like it's itchy, and then the freezing cold almost confuses the nerves to make the itching stop. And it's not a cure-all, because sometimes you're still itching after that, but it really soothes it massively. Especially you can get an ice pack, a gel one that you can kind of bend around your neck or leg or arm or whatever when you're going to sleep. So I had that at the top, and then that sort of started to go numb. The skin started to go numb, and it would go all the way down my arm, all the way down to the tips of my fingers. And then it started spreading down the one side of my body, so all my torso, all my tummy, my legs, my whole right leg went numb, my whole foot, pins and needles at the bottom of my foot as well. And it was just odd. So after the numbness and the itching and the pins and needles, I started to get from my elbow all the way down to the tips of my fingers, started to go really stiff, and the movement disappeared from my fingers. Now I can do this. So that's 9 weeks later, and I couldn't before. It was really stiff, and I had to really clench to try and move my fingers down, and sometimes some fingers would stay upwards and they would move independently. When I had it rested, they would just kind of jig about. At the moment it's still stiff. It still hasn't gone back to the way it should do. I don't know, like with any relapse, you don't know what residual symptoms you're going to be left with. I'm hoping that I'm just going to be left with numbness or itching, even though the itching's bad, or pins and needles. I need the movement back in my hand. So as you can see, my left hand there, you know, I can do everything with it. I can bring my fingers together. With my right hand, this is how it is. And yes, I can move it. It's not very easy to do that because it feels really stiff. But when you're trying to put Like, I'm trying to do this with my right hand, and it just won't, you know, it won't do won't do what it's supposed to do. And that becomes really difficult and poses a problem when you've got to change nappies, and you've got to change a dirty nappy, and you've got to tear the nappies at the side because he's in pull-ups, and you've got to open jars, and you've got to make bottles, and you've got to scoop things out, and get dressed in the morning, have a shower, wash your hair, bath my little boy, play properly, just loads of things that you don't realise that you need full functionality for. And I suppose it's the same with everything. You don't realise how much you need something and use something until that ability has been taken away from you. And I don't so much feel sorry for me. Because I know what's going on. But there was a time where the functionality was so bad that I couldn't pick my little boy up properly. And I couldn't bath him. And I couldn't soothe him to sleep properly. You know, not being able to do things for yourself is one thing, but not being able to do something for a little boy who needs you the most is heartbreaking. Anyway, after that little breakdown, it's starting to come back, which is good. My neurologist said to me after me speaking to my MS nurse, because it was quite a big relapse and it was a debilitating one, so we needed to really have steroids, either tablet form or IV steroids, to try and halt the relapse in its tracks. And no, it's not going to cure the relapse, but it kind of stops it from going any further, hopefully. So it kind of stops your immune system from attacking your blood-brain barrier, I think. But yeah, so 3 days worth of steroids, and if you haven't had steroids before, they don't make me feel great. I know there's lots of people who have them and they feel absolutely fine. You just go into hospital and they put like a cannula in your hand or your arm, and then it's about an hour and a half max for the steroids to kind of go in, and then you go home. And it's normally either 3 to 5 days. I had 3 days, and then I felt really poorly for about a week. Nausea, headaches. I just felt ill. I wasn't ill, I just felt ill from the medication. But I know that because I've had them before, I know it halts relapses. So yeah, so 2 weeks now. I'm 2 weeks after the 3-day IV steroids, and things seem to be really kind of kicking in. My right leg now is completely back to normal. No numbness, no pins and needles, no weakness. I can walk on my leg absolutely fine. I'm so thankful for that. I'm just waiting for this to get back to normal. It's hugely better. I can move all my fingers. My grip is much better. It's just the coordination that you need. You really need the coordination to do the majority of things that you do. Like laces, you can't do laces up. So anybody who finds that they've got a debilitation in their movement, Velcro or slip-on or sandals. But yeah, so that's that. I'll keep you updated with how long this takes to recover. But if there's any questions that you've got, comment below. If you've had a similar experience, please comment below, because people who are going through these things, everyone has different symptoms, and we all get weirded out by them, and we don't know what's going on, because your nerves can get attacked anywhere in your brain and your neck and your spine, and those nerves relate to different parts of your body, and when you're going through something, you don't know what it is. You don't know whether it's MS or something else. So if you have any experience at all in anything that I'm talking about today, or you have any tips to try and help things either get better or help things with movement, or to make things easier, like opening jars, itchiness, if you've got any hints or tricks or anything like that, please comment below, because you won't just be helping me, you'll be helping other people as well. So thank you for listening. Hopefully I've given some insight into little bits and bobs of itchiness and movement and coordination, and remember to use your non-dominant hand. Learn how to use that now, because I'm telling you that it's going to help massively if you can have the ability to use both hands if one of them just decides to not work anymore. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and if there's anything else that you want me to talk about, that I can talk about, if I've got any experience in it, I'll do a video for you. But until next time, stay healthy. See you soon.